welcome back to Flashback! Today I'll be looking back on the original Sonic the Hedgehog game. So, here's a bit of history on the subject. Sonic the Hedgehog was for the Sega Mega Drive and is the first title in the Sonic the Hedgehog series, and is the third appearance of Sonic the Hedgehog himself. The game's original programmer was former Sonic team leader and series creator Yuji Naka, and the planner was Hirokazu Yasuhara. The gameplay was faster than any other game before and amazed many people at launch. This was due to the Mega Drive's Motorola 68000 processor, whose basic speed and ability to handle 16-bit numbers gave it incredible speed compared to its predecessor, the Master System. Nevertheless, a separate 8-bit version, which focused more on exploration than speed, was later released for said system. Now, here's the basic story of this game. Somewhere in South Island, Sonic the Hedgehog's animal friends are disappearing. When he discovers that the evil scientist, Dr. Ivo Robotnik, or as we know him nowadays, Dr. Eggman, has been kidnapping them and converting them into robotic badniks, all as a part of a plot to collect a legendary treasure known as the Chaos Emeralds. Sonic decides it's up to him to save them and embarks on a quest to free his friends. As Sonic races through the zones, he marks them as his territory, and no, he doesn't pee on it, and frees the animals from both their robotic shells and the egg-like prisons. While completely optional during the game's progression, the Chaos Emeralds can be claimed by Sonic in the first 5 zones if he holds 50 rings before completing the first 2 acts, taking him to the special stage, aka Secret Zone. Now, the gameplay. Sonic the Hedgehog plays very similarly to other platforms in which the titular character must get to the end of the stage in the allotted time, while collecting items along the way. Essential to the gameplay are the golden rings the player collects along his or her way in each level, a feature which would become one of the defining characteristics of the series. These items are regularly placed around the level map and serve multiple functions. First, the player collects rings to protect Sonic. As long as they have at least 1 ring, the player will not lose a life when injured. Instead, when hit, up to 20 of the rings the player has collected will fly outward and scattered around the immediate area for some seconds, some of which can then be retrieved before they disappear. But if the player runs into an enemy without a single ring, he or she will lose a life. And if the player collects 100 rings, they will gain an extra life and will gain an additional life for every 100 rings after that, provided the rings are not lost. If the player has at least 50 rings at the end of an act, a giant golden ring will float above the finishing sign, which can be jumped through to enter one of the special stages. This excludes the final act of a stage when Sonic will enter a boss fight. At the end of each act, the total number of rings the player has is multiplied by 100 and added to the player's score. During the score tallying, the player can also jump through the air and find hidden emblems which can range from 100 to 10,000 points. The rest I don't want to spoil for anyone who hasn't played the game yet. Now, here's my opinion on the game. Well, I gotta say that the speed really does benefit to the game. I mean, it lets the levels go by fast for you, and it just really helps you out. However, it does lack one thing like Mario. It lacks the option of having a save file. I mean, it's nothing too big, but yeah, that's something that would have been real nice back then. Now, let me note this difference. The timer in the corner is a bit different from Mario. In Mario, it doesn't really count how much you've been playing for. You only have an allotted amount of time in Mario. In Sonic the Hedgehog, however, I think you have almost all the time you need. So that is a bit more interesting to go by. But this is not about which game I prefer. For me, this game is addictive and it's really nostalgic. So that really benefits it as well, and it takes away my, gripe about not having a save file. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye everyone.